All right, today we're going to talk about vitiligo. It's a condition many of us have seen, but, maybe don't fully understand. We're going to look past what's on the surface and really get into the complex disease that's going on underneath.
This quote from a recent study absolutely nails it. For the longest time, vitiligo was just seen as, a cosmetic issue. But now we know that what you see on the skin, that's just one clue to a much bigger story happening inside the body.
And get this, it's not some super rare condition. We're talking about up to 95 million people around the world. It doesn't care about your background, your gender, or your age. The scale of this thing is just huge, and so is the impact it has on people's lives.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning and build a really solid foundation here. Before we can get a handle on that whole iceberg, we need to be totally clear on what vitiligo actually is on a biological level.
The most important part of that sentence? Autoimmune skin disease. What does that mean? It means the body's own immune system kind of gets its wires crossed, and it mistakenly attacks and destroys its own melanocytes. Those are the little factories that produce the pigment in our skin. So when they're gone, the skin just can't make color anymore, and that's what creates those white patches. So how do doctors even know for sure that it's vitiligo? Well, the process is usually pretty direct. It kicks off with a dermatologist just taking a good look at the skin. Then, they often use this special UV light. It's called a Wood's lamp. And under that light, the patches glow this really bright, telltale blue-white color. It confirms the pigment is totally gone. It's actually very rare that they need a skin biopsy. That's only for the really tricky cases.
Okay, so now that we have the basics down, let's look below the surface. Let's get to the rest of that iceberg. This is really where you start to see that vitiligo isn't just about the skin at all.
Because the immune system is involved, it makes sense that other parts of the body can be affected too, right? Researchers have found really strong links to other autoimmune conditions, especially thyroid disease. But it doesn't stop there. It turns out we also have melanocytes in our eyes and our inner ears. So that's why some patients might also experience issues with their vision or hearing. And there's even a link to metabolic syndrome. It's all connected.
Now, beyond all the physical stuff, there's this invisible part of the disease that can be incredibly heavy. The sources we looked at describe this profound emotional distress that goes way, way beyond just feeling a bit self-conscious. In some places where there's still a lot of stigma and misunderstanding, it can lead to real social isolation and prejudice, which can just crush a person's mental health and quality of life.
So this all leads to the big question, right? What can we do about it? Well, the great news is that how we treat vitiligo has completely evolved. We've gone from just trying random things to having a really clear, evidence-backed action plan.
The modern strategy isn't one size fits all. It's actually split into two very different goals. Think of it like this. If the vitiligo is actively spreading, the #1 mission is to just slam on the brakes, stop it in its tracks. That's stabilization. Once it's stable, then, and only then, can you shift focus to goal #2, repigmentation, which is all about bringing color back to the patches that are already there. And the toolkit doctors have to reach those goals is built on 3 main pillars. You've got your topicals, creams and ointments, which are usually the first thing they try. Then there's phototherapy, which uses very specific wavelengths of UV light to kind of wake up those pigment-making cells. And for those really fast-moving cases, there are systemic treatments, pills that work on your entire body to calm that immune attack down.
Now, while each of those pillars is powerful, the real breakthrough, the thing that's changed everything, is using them together. The science is crystal clear on this now. Combining treatments gives you results that just blow any single therapy out of the water.
How much better are the results? Just look at this number. One major analysis found that when patients combined a specific type of cream with phototherapy, they had a nearly 7 times higher chance of getting at least half their pigment back. I mean, that's not just a little better. That is a massive leap forward, a total game changer.
All this incredible progress brings us to the most exciting part of this whole story. What's next? We're starting to look beyond just managing vitiligo. We're looking toward the horizon, at the ultimate goal.
The pace of innovation right now is just staggering. Seriously, just a few short years ago, there were no FDA-approved treatments specifically designed for vitiligo. None. And now, as you can see on this timeline, that has completely changed. We have an approved cream, there's a potential new pill making its way through the pipeline, and we're even seeing trials for a brand new class of drugs that targets the very root of the problem, immune memory.
And all this science is being backed by some serious investment. The global market for vitiligo treatments is expected to more than double in the next 10 years. Now, this isn't just about business. What this really means is a huge surge in research and focus.
which translates directly into more and better options for those 95 million people. So what's the holy grail here? It's a phrase you see in the research all the time: durable remission. This means more than just getting the pigment back. The ultimate dream is to find a treatment that can actually reset the immune system, to make it forget to attack those melanocytes, so that even after you stop the therapy, the disease doesn't come back, ever.
And that leaves us with this final, massive question. With these new therapies in development that are designed to do exactly that, reset the immune system for good, are we on the verge of moving from just managing this condition to actually curing it? Well, only time's going to tell. But for the first time in history, that question is no longer science fiction.